Hey, I'm live and wasting coffee and everything. Hey guys, how are y'all? You can halfway see me. This is our Thursday lunch bite. I hope that y'all are well. We on my lunch bite, I am having can't get it in there. Some Rhino coffee. Oh man, it don't want to show it. That is
Put
so
it in
rude.
front of your face. Put it in front of your
Okay,
face. Yep, there you go.
okay. Some Rhino coffee with some Rhino water. Um, and so, anyway, I hope that y'all are having a phenomenal day. This is Coach Ladondra and Coach Don, and we are getting ready to talk about the power of asking the right question. And before we was getting ready to do this live, and I had to get back into the mode of why was this initially a topic? And I will say that this came up as a topic for several reasons, and we're just going to talk to y'all today. We're just going to have a conversation. I want this to be about a conversation, and I want you guys to put your questions in the chat. If you have some questions, let us know that you're here, and give StreamYard permission for us to see your name and all the good things so that we can engage with you. But, a lot of times we are not where we want to be in our businesses because we're not asking the right questions, y'all. We're not asking the right questions, or we're not asking any questions at all. And
Yes.
the Bible tells us that we have not because we ask not. And like when I looked at this, y'all, like I'm thinking from both standpoints. We have not because we ask not from a personal standpoint, like within ourselves. Like many of us don't even know what we want. We don't know what we want to even ask for anything at all, right? And so if you're not clear on what you want, you can't expect God to meet that need because you have not specifically laid out. He wants us to be so specific in the things that we're wanting and what we're needing and how we're needing it. And then when we can do that, then we will start to pull things our way. We will start to pull miracles our way. It was so interesting as I was thinking about this again. This is a conversation. Hey, Amber, our project manager. Amber is here. What's up? Um, in the chat. So y'all, if y'all have questions, she is a beautiful resource as we are going along. But I was just thinking when you just look at the Bible, because when as business owners, women operating kingdom enterprises, we need to build our businesses on kingdom principles. So if God did it, he did it for a reason. So when he was trying to heal or deliver or do anything, he asked questions. He asked questions, and he asked the right questions. And it was so interesting. I was just thinking, and I forgot to look it up. It's all good. One of y'all can help me because I know y'all are the faith-based ladies up in here. He was performing a miracle, and I don't know if he was healing the blind man or which miracle he was doing. But the question that he asked is, do you want to be made whole? He didn't
Mm.
say like, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be? He said, do you want to be made whole? And y'all, when you really look at that, that is different. Because see, healing would have solved one thing. But he said, do you want to be made whole? So if you want to be made whole, it's going to be an inside job that manifests into an external thing. So whatever he believed from the inside, it was going to produce fruit on the outside, and of that miracle of healing for his eyes or healing for whatever he needed. He wanted to be made whole and complete. See, God was saying, do you want to be made whole and complete? Not just solving this, that I just want to be healed in my eyes. Do you want to be whole and complete? And see, a lot of times we're not asking the right questions to say, okay, we're just asking a surface question. That question hasn't drilled down deep enough to really get to the thing that we're really wanting to see or show up in our lives. And we really got to take time to do that. I know in my intentional mornings with God training, that is one of the biggest things that I do in challenging our woke next level students to do, is to take that time to sit with the Holy Spirit, to ask the right questions. I mean, like really get down to the gritty of it. Because that first question that you ask is probably going to be, "Hey God, I want to be healed. I want to I want my sight back." But really, is that the right question? Is that the complete question? Is there something else to that? Is it that you need to be delivered from the inside so that to believe that being healed is even possible for you? See, a lot of times we're not bringing to our physical reality the thing that we want because we don't even believe that it's true, that it can be possible. And if don't believe that it can be possible, then we're not going to ask the right question, or we're not going to ask a question at all that's going to lead us to the ultimate outcome that we are even desiring. Does that make sense what I'm putting out?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Coach Ladondra. And as you're talking about that, and you are super good about asking those deep questions, right? And so when you start in prayer, like you said, with your intentional mornings with God, and you say, God, give me my sight, right? So the next thing I want to challenge you with is to say, okay, when that happens, not if, because we're going before God with expectation,
Yes.
right? An expectation of Him giving you what you ask for because we're His daughters and He wants nothing but the best for us.
Yeah.
So when that happens, then what?
Mm.
Then what will happen, right? So whatever you're asking for, like play that out. Okay, when God you give me that answer, whether it's a yes or no, because sometimes He says no, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
always a yes. And so when that happens, then what? What will that look like next for me? What will that look like next for the people I serve? What then? And you keep going down that what then, scenario until you get deep down, and that is a good way to dive into what that looks like and what that means for you, for your life, for your business, for the people around you. It just the what next, what's then, that's a great way to do that.
Girl, like I if girl, listen, if I was at the house right now, I would get up and be been and doing the Holy Ghost dance. Then what? Listen, that is a powerful question because see, now you've dropped down from what was here in just your head. Now you're coming into your heart and you're moving from your heart and into your spirit. And when you can move into that place, there's where you are operating from a place of power and authority, because see, now you're believing that you're going to what you just asked for, that it is going to come to pass, and you're preparing yourself for what that's going to look like. And so you're lining up things. And one of the second points that we actually do have is setting up your so the first point is knowing what you want. You have to be very, very clear about what you want and why you want it. If you don't know what you want and why you want it, then it's going to lead to unfulfillment. It's going to lead to you asking the wrong questions. It's going to lead to you attracting people into your environment that are not, and that it's not a fit for you. They are leeches. They are people who make you second guess yourself, like all the things. But guess what? You were never clear about what you wanted, why you wanted it, how you wanted it, and all of that. And so when I think about the second point is to think about the conditions that's going to make that ask something successful for you or favorable for you. So you have to set up conditions around that particular ask. So if you've asked for, multi-level, a multi six-figure business or a seven-figure business or whatever, what conditions have you set around that, sis? And when I think about conditions, and see, I'm going off the rails of notes and everything. Conditions, your boundaries and parameters. What are the conditions that's going to set you up for success? We were just talking to a client, one of our clients just the other day, and we were talking to her about helping her to setting up conditions to help her to successfully step into her goals. If she didn't set up those conditions or parameters to make whatever she's asked God for, if she hadn't set up any conditions or parameters, then she's going to find herself repeating the same cycle over and over and wondering why she's creating the same result. Well, you haven't taken it further to say, okay, now I know what I want, I know why I want it. I've said, okay, then what? Like, and painted out this full picture of the vision of what I want. Now I have conditions and parameters around that. And so I need to set up an environment that's going to set me up for success. What people do I need to be around? What type of investments do I need to make in myself to make that ask become a reality in my life? Because faith without works is dead. So I have the faith for it, but I'm not putting in the work to invest in myself to bring that to pass. I'm asking for a six-figure business, but then I'm not putting in the work to to and investing in myself and believing in myself that if I do sow the seed that he's going to be my provider, Jehovah Jireh. He's going to step up for me. Coach Don, you take it next because I need to hook up my phone, my computer,
Yep.
because it's about to die on me.
Yep, absolutely. And that is exactly what I was thinking about, Coach Ladondra. The faith without works is dead. We ask and I'm going to move on into some belief mindset here too, because when you ask, if you are disbelieving or in doubt about what you're asking for, that he will provide the answer, then that just goes in like you're putting up blocks for that ask. So definitely be aware of what you're asking for and believing that it will happen, right? Like she was talking about a multiple six-figure business. Are you really, really believing that that is for you, that that will happen for you, that God is going to get you to that place? All right. But faith without works is dead. What are you doing in response to the ask, right? If you're asking to build a six-figure business, doing business God's way, right? You're asking him, you're going before him, you're like, okay, God, this is what I want. What do I need to do to make that happen? What do you have in store for me? Where am I going next? And then taking that action to do the things that he has called you to do, and creating those boundaries, I'm going to call them those parameters, those boundaries of other things that have been blocking you, that have been preventing you from getting to that next level. Okay, we have to create boundaries, and that includes our mindset, you guys. So when the enemy, right, comes in and has all this doubt for you. Okay, we went through this with another client the other day, and just continues to put doubt onto you, right? And you're asking and asking and asking, but you're not really believing. Guys, we've got to do something to get rid of that doubt. Root the doubt out, right? Root it out like a weed. We've got to get that out. So one of the exercises that I just absolutely love with our Walk Next Level clients is to have them, when those doubts come up, you're going to write those doubts out on a piece of paper, right? And then you're going to take that lie, which it really is a lie. It is not from God. It is not his purpose for you. It is not what you've been asking for. And you're going to turn that around to the truth. What is the truth? Again, ask the questions of what is the truth? What does God say about this, about me? Like, this is what I am hearing. This is what I'm thinking. This is the way I'm operating. But the truth is that God has all of this in store for me, in store for my business. I need to get focused in. I need to ask the right questions. I need to build relationship with God, with myself internally, with my clients, and move forward in the belief that this is what he has in store for me. Okay, you guys, it's super, super, super important to root out all of that doubt, and really acknowledge that those are lies from the enemy trying to hold you back from asking the right questions in order to get ahead and get to where God has that place, that land of milk and honey ready for you. Okay, guys, asking the right questions, being obedient, setting up those parameters, super, super, super important. Okay, knowing what your client wants. I'm going to move on to our next point, and that is knowing what your clients want, right? When we are talking to clients and we're making it all about us, you're not being in tune with what their needs are. And what kind of conversation is that when you're not being in tune to your client's needs, right? You're not asking them the right questions about, well, what got you into this business anyway? Why is this important? Why is it, why do you enjoy doing what you do? Asking the right questions. What's been a big roadblock for you lately? What's been going on in your business? Have you set some goals that maybe you haven't achieved lately, and what's been coming up for you around that, right? So all these questions that you ask to your clients, potential clients, that you have to have a discerning ear and an open heart to receive really where they are. Listen to where they are. Make it about them. then you can say, you know what, I hear you. And, I understand like what you're going through, or I've had other people that I've worked with that have gone through the same thing. If, and you're doing this from a place of love and care and concern, if I can help you solve that problem that you're having right now with my program that I've set up, or with my product, or with my service, would that be valuable to you? Would that make sense for you to learn more about that? Because since I've got what you need, I've been ahead of you. I mean, I've been where you are, and now that I'm a few steps ahead, right, ladies? You don't always have to be miles ahead of the people that you serve. Asking those simple questions about where they are now, where do they want to go, and what's that gap? And then really, really, really stepping in to say, you know what, I can fill that gap for you. Or if you can't, you can always be a resource to get them to the right person that can help them fill that gap. It's not always about us filling the gap, right? We all have our unique serving proposition, and that is not going to be able to fill everyone's gap that you come in contact with. So be a resource. But you're not going to know if you can even be a resource if you're not asking the right questions of that potential client or that person that you've just met, right? It's super important to really engage with an open heart and talk to them, about what they're going through. Listen, and then be ready to say, you know what, I'm not the right person for you, but let me connect you with someone who can help you fill that gap for them. Okay. All right, ladies, let's see. So I'm going to move on to the next point. Coach Ladondra is trying to come back in right now. She is out and about having technical difficulties, but you know what? That's the way we roll. We keep going with it, and hopefully she can pop back in here really soon. So identifying the conditions, this is point number 3, identifying the conditions to make your ask favorable or successful. Okay, we always want to seek win-win scenarios. Okay, again, if you can help solve that gap for them, then do that. Otherwise, you need to bless them with your connections. That's the point of having relationship with other people, right? So that you can connect them with other people. Put yourself in their shoes as well. What would you want to know if you were them, right? Be ready with to address any objections that they may have, right? If you were in their shoes and you really knew what they were going through, what would be helpful for you? What would be helpful for you to know? Or who would be helpful for you to know, right? Think about that. Always try to put yourself in their shoes so that you can really give them strong, solid wisdom, the advice of wisdom that comes from your past experience, and you're going before God daily to see, God, what do you have in store for me? What is it that they need from me, especially when you're addressing your clients, right? How can I serve them today, God? How can I serve them today? Really open your heart and ask God in your intentional mornings with Him about your clients, right? About your potential clients. Lord, let me hear what they're saying. Let me hear what they're saying so that then I can step in to their shoes and understand what their needs are. If I can fill that need, Lord, let me be that person, that product, that service to fill that need, to fill that gap for them. Okay. The next thing is, oh, Coach Ladondra's in the car. She's hopping back in. Hey, sis.
Hey, everything you're saying is on point. I can hear. I've been hearing you. Keep it rolling. You're doing amazing.
I figured you were there in the background somewhere, so it's all good. So the last point really on here was, don't ask someone to do something that you wouldn't or haven't done yet. Like I said, you're a step or two ahead of your client, your potential client, and you can put your hand back and say, come on, sis, I got you. Let's go do this together. But you know what? If you haven't done what you're asking them to do, like for instance, if you're asking them, say, I can fill that gap for you. I have the solution to your problem. but it's going to be an investment of 5 figures or whatever it is. If you haven't done that for yourself, then why would you be asking them to do that, right? Why would you be asking them to do that? Guys, we have to go forward with our experience, with our wisdom. We have to be willing to make the investment ourselves first in order to even make that ask of our clients, right? And it's super, super important to know what it is that they are needing and that you can provide that value. But again, if you're not asking the right questions of them to know even if they should invest with you, then you're not listening. You're not putting yourself in their shoes. All of those things. Coach LaDondra, what do you have to say about anything and everything that we talked about today?
I feel like you have done a wonderful job in getting things covered. I will say that, one question that I want to and challenge you with is the one that you were just talking about, and that's making sure you're not asking your client something that you're not willing to do, or you're not asking potential investors something that you're not willing to do yourself. A lot of times we have an expectation out there, but we're not showing up to do the work and invest in ourselves and all of that. And it's time to level up in our thinking. It's time to level up in our actions. It's time to level up in our being. It's time to completely level up. I'm just going to be really, really blunt with this. I am tired of seeing our sisters struggle because of this own strife that they've put themselves in. Because one, we're not clear on what we want. Two, we're not putting it in an environment that's going to survive. We keep on saying, hey, well, that it's going to thrive in. We're like, oh, we're making excuses. Oh, I didn't come from that. Or, oh, those are people who got money. Oh, it's all these excuses. Let's drop the excuses and let's start taking the right actions that's going to move us forward. Y'all, the success lies in our hands. Like, God has given us the power to do what we need to do. But we have the power of choice to choose to do it or not. And so you have to get to a place where you're choosing to make decisions that's in alignment with your ask. Stop choosing the very opposite thing of what you don't want, because whatever you're choosing, it's coming and you're drawing it to you. And so I just want to encourage us to step up and level up our game. So if you want the type of money that you're saying you want, then make the decisions that line up with that. And then don't be having an expectation on your clients and then you're not doing it. Like, literally, I have not asked my clients to invest no more than I've invested, because one, I wouldn't even know what they feel if they have made these investments. So I'm asking them to make a huge investment, but I don't even know what that feels like. So when they're on the other side and trying to make a decision and they're struggling, well, guess what? Like, I can't relate because I haven't done that, which is not true, because I have. I invested myself at the highest level. I love the best, and I'm going to get the best because I believe in generational impact and generational legacy. So I believe that the seeds that I'm sowing in myself, I get to sow those into my clients. I get to sow those into my children. I get to sow that into my husband. I get to sow that into my team. And so it's a legacy impact. So make sure that your ask and what you're asking for, it lines up, and that you're sold on you and you're sold on the things that you're putting out there into the marketplace, and you're doing the work as well. So, yeah, this has been a phenomenal session, of phenomenal lunch bite. We love bringing you the best, because it's not about just leveling up in your business and bringing another strategy. It is truly about becoming the woman of God that you were created to be. And in order for you to do that, you have to shift the way that you think about business, and you shift the way you think about yourself and your identity and how you're showing up in the marketplace using your gifts, and how you're boldly asking, and how are you cleaning up house inside in your mind and in your heart, or are you allowing those things to become excuses to distract you and deter you from getting to the ultimate place that you are destined to be. And so, y'all, if you're wanting to get into a community where you're going to be empowered with the resources that is going to take you to your next level, be sure to get to the Woke Next Level, not the Woke Next Level, the Woke Leaders Conference. conference in September. We are only weeks away. Yeah, we have some amazing, and when I tell you amazing speakers that's going to be in the room, we have an amazing team that's going to be in a room, amazing activations where you're going to encounter God at another level. We are not playing games. We're not selling hype. This is about hope. This is about you stepping into your purpose and your assignment. The money that you're investing into this conference, we're not going to see that. What you're going to see is you're getting way more than what you're invested in. So make sure that you go to ladondrahervey.com/conference, get your early bird ticket before July 31st, and when that goes out, and we look forward to seeing you at the first, the inaugural conference where you're going to heal up, build up, it's heal up, feel up, then build up your business. So we look forward to seeing you there. We're about to get to our Woke Next Level clients. Have a wonderful day. Bye.